forms of urban warfare. Do you know that the Israeli army has a school of architecture? There's a school of architecture within the Israeli army. A.L. Weitzman, who's an Israeli architect, has written about this. You can look it up in the internet. It's called The Art of War. He even has an interview that you can download with the colonel who has a PhD in architecture who heads this school. The whole point, why would you have a school of architecture in an army? The whole point is you're developing new tactics of urban warfare. You know, armies always avoided cities. Cities are a morass. Just look at Baghdad today. Armies avoided cities. Today, for the first time in history, the majority of human beings live in cities. And if we're going after insurgents, just look at our language. If you go out on the street and you ask people, who are the insurgents? They'll tell you they're the bad guys. No. The insurgents are the people. That's what insurgents means. Paul Revere was an insurgent. One of the largest avenues in Mexico City is called the Avenue of the Insurgents. Pancho Villa and Zapata were good guys. General Pershing was the bad guy. Insurgents are the people. They're turning our world around so that the people are the bad guys. Counterinsurgency is good because it's bringing us security. The state is good. And through language and other ways, we're being convinced that our own pacification is good for us. And the threats are other people's. The threats aren't the states. The threats aren't the armies. The threats aren't security forces. The threats are other people. And we're being turned against other people in this kind of a global pacification industry. And I'm not going to get into detail. I'm going to end now. But I'm just saying that Israel, in my view, has contributed 3 essential elements to this global pacification system that comes directly out of the occupation. And that is, as I showed you, the matrix of control. Israel is exporting the matrix of control in all kinds of ways. And I would talk about a global matrix of control that's beginning to emerge. In other words, how do you structure a system of warehousing? And then there are mechanisms of control. Israel not only is very active in conventional weaponry, Star Wars, theater defense, all that kind of stuff, but it's very involved, as I said, in counterinsurgency, security, and policing. This is one package. It's a very slippery slope from the military to security firms to your local police force. They're the same people with the same tactics, the same weaponry, and they're all about control. You know, and the question is, are they really about you, or are there other agendas here at play? And Israel is very good, finally, in terms of framing. And that's really important, because they have to convince us that our own pacification is good for us. Here's Israel that has a 41-year occupation, massive violations of human rights, an invasion of Gaza in which 400 kids are killed. And yet, Israel's the good guy. The Palestinians are the bad guys. They're the terrorists. So Israel has succeeded in taking what you could call the worst case scenario, the worst product you could possibly want to sell: occupation, oppression, violence, killing, violations of human rights, and turned it into the good thing that the United States supports. And the oppressed people are being sanctioned in Gaza by the United States. Wow. If you can do that, if you can take all these things and frame them in a way that the people buy it, that's a tremendous model as well. So I'm saying these are 3 elements of a global pacification system that we have to be aware of, that affects us and other people, and that derives not completely, but largely from the occupation. So that there's a global aspect here. I don't want us to ignore what's happening to the Palestinians or to lose that focus, but also to be aware that there are other aspects of this conflict that really we should keep in mind. I'm sorry I talked so long, but we have some time for discussion, right?
Yeah.